Hi, I'm Denise from Black Ribbon Studio, and I am totally hooked on crochet. And this is Maya, my granddaughter. Say hi.
Hi.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of my crochet podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing. You have no idea how much this means to me. I've been having kind of a wonky week. I don't feel really productive, and I kind of felt a bit all over the place yesterday. But here I am. Here I am today. And I can't wait to talk to you. So let's get started. This week, I want to talk about some finished objects. I want to do a nice review, and I have works in progress and just a bunch of stuff. So I want to show you that I have completed my Luxe throw, and we talked about how this was giving me some challenges as I was crocheting it. I made this throw using a pattern by Mama in a Stitch, and I used Lion Brand's Luxe yarn in dusty pink, holding 2 strands together. This is not perfect by a long shot, but I loved it. I would definitely make this pattern again, and I'm going to do a short review of the yarn. So here you guys can take a good look at this. Let me just hold it up for you. I love it. I've had a chance to actually sit on the sofa and cuddle up with it while watching Handmaid's Tale, and yeah, I really do love it. So as I was saying in the last video, I had some challenges with keeping the edges of the blanket straight. I figured out what the problem was. I ripped out several rows, and I went back, I redid it, and you know, it's still not straight, but as I said, I'm happy with it. And now if you're watching my videos and you're new to crochet or thinking about starting to crochet, and you're thinking, oh my god, I could never do something like that, you know, I hope that sharing my wins and losses empowers you to know that you really can do this. Now, on that note, Debbie from the Canadian Crocheter is sort of challenging herself to continue to make amigurumi. Amigurumi is a Japanese term for little stuffed toys, loosely translated. And so she's been making some amigurumis and showed some backpack buddies, and I know she's stepping out of her comfort zone, and I just wanted to share with everyone, and Debbie, if you're watching, that your amigurumi is coming along a lot better than mine ever did. So I just wanted to share a couple of amigurumi that I have done in the past so you can get an idea of what it is I'm talking about. So here's this little chick that I did. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look at the lips. Look at the lips. Like, do chicks have lips? I thought they had beaks. But yeah, these kind of look like lips. And then I did some kind of something with the cheeks. I sort of colored them in. But yeah, this was one attempt. This was one attempt. Okay, I want to also share with you a little bee. Debbie had done a bee And I'm going to show you mine. Here's my little bee. Look at his little mouth. You can barely even see it. OMG. This is just, to me, this is just the funniest looking thing ever. I have just a couple more. I believe I was making a mouse here. I know that I did do the ears. I never attached them. With this one, I think I ran out of this yarn because I really miscalculated how much yarn it's going to actually take to do the amigurumis. And I ran out of steam. So there's that. And then just one more. I was attempting to make a little safety. I just broke. So much for safety, right? I was trying to make a little sheep, and here's his face, which I think was it. I think this came out pretty good, except the rest of the sheep's body was just a lot of bobble stitches. And if you guys are following my podcast, you'll know that I make bobble blankets. But I think that at this time when I was attempting to make this sheep, I just really couldn't get the concept of the bobbles down. So Debbie, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. So now I want to do a short review of the Luxe yarn, but I want you guys to hold on for a minute. I have to go get it. Okay, so I'm back, and so here is the Luxe yarn by Lion Brand. As I'm sure you probably can judge, it really is a very soft yarn. It's velvety soft, truly. It is pretty much fibers on a thread that actually is making up the texture of the yarn. It's fibers on a thread. I'll try to hold this a little closer so maybe you can see. I don't know if it's going to focus. It may. Okay. Now, some of the things that I have to say about this yarn is that it did have a lot of knots in quite a few of the skeins. I used 8 balls of this to make this blanket. So there were a lot of knots, manufacturer knots. At first, I was cutting the knots out, which was leaving me with a lot of yarn to have to weave in. So after a while, after quite a few of them, I decided that I was going to leave the knots in, especially since the yarn is made as a fine thread. So, and because the blanket was for my own personal use, I decided to go ahead and just leave the knots in and hope for the best. Also, because I was using 2 strands held together, which I chose to use 2 different balls of this at once in order to achieve that, the yarn itself kept knotting. Now, that's probably a user error. That's probably because this is not something I've ever done before. So there's that. Other than those things, I would say that this yarn is very easy to work with. I believe that it would be even better, easier, less troublesome if I were using just 1 strand of the yarn. I found at the end of my project another issue that I came upon that I wasn't thrilled with is weaving in the ends. When you weave the ends in on, I think, a bulkier, more fibrous type of yarn, you come across the issue of having little ends poking out. And there's really kind of nothing that you can do about these little ends that are poking out. So you just kind of have to live with it, I guess. So that was just a little troublesome as well. However, would I buy this yarn again? Absolutely. I would buy this yarn again because I did like it that much. I like the texture of it that much. And I think I probably just need some more experience with the yarn in order to get it to behave the way that I want it to behave. Not doing a swatch because I have 2 cakes of this left. And I want to keep them just in case I decide to include them in a giveaway. So now I'm going to move on to my works in progress. I am currently working on a baby blanket, and it's called Diamonds and Dots, and it's by Traveling Hook Creative. And here's it's a free pattern. I printed it off, and it's really pretty. I'm excited about doing this pattern. I'm using Lion Brand's Pound of Love in lilac. And here is my progress so far. As you can see, I've got some diamonds almost complete. And one of the things, of course, that I really enjoy about this blanket is that it's got these little baubles here in between the diamonds. So I don't think it's going to take very much time to finish this, but don't I say that for every blanket, guys? I say it every time I start a blanket. I'm like, it's not going to take very long. And then weeks and weeks later, here we go. So, but I'm going to give it my very best try. Let's see, what else do I have going on? I don't have any acquisitions this week. But I do want to refer back to a discovery that I talked about on my last podcast. You know, I've pledged my undying support of Furls Crochet. I still, of course, love the company. I love what they stand for. I love that they have yarn specifically made for crocheters. I can't wait to get my hands on a couple of their hooks. But what you know, this week I'm going through my emails, and what do I get? I get an email announcing Furls has now decided to sell knitting needles. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I just thought that was really funny. That here I am, all gung-ho. They're all about crochet. Now they have knitting needles. So that's kind of interesting. Well, knitters rejoice. Furls, I think, is a really good company, so you should patronize them as well. Now, don't forget, guys, I am a maker, and I support the entire maker community. I work with polymer clay, I cross-stitch, and I sew. Remember to visit my Etsy shop, which is linked below, where you will also find personalized t-shirts, coffee mugs, and glitter wine glasses. Now, go ahead and hit that like, give me a thumbs up. Share this video with your crafty friends. Subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. Some words of inspiration that I would love to leave you with is, you have what it takes. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.